Hey everyone, welcome back to the Live Now podcast. I'm your host, Nate Kingsley, and before I get into today's conversation, I just wanted to tell you all that today is the last episode of Season 1. I don't know if podcasts have episodes, but the Live Now podcast does, so this is the last episode of my first season. I treated this as sort of a pilot. I wanted to get used to putting content out there and get feedback from everyone so I can kind of create a direction and make sure of the direction that I want to take this podcast. So I am going to come back in about a month or so. I wanted to get in another 5 or 6 conversations because I like the one episode a week pace. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably be releasing my first episode of season 2 at the beginning of March. So please stay tuned. And if you haven't given me feedback yet, please go onto Instagram at Nate Kingsley, shoot me an email. I would love to hear from you. But in regards to today's conversation, my guest is Cara Dello Russo. Cara owns her own company called Cara's Pet Care. She started it about 2 to 3 years ago, and it has absolutely exploded over the past 10 months. I don't want to talk about it too much on the intro because she gets into it, but it is close to 10x'd in the past 10 months, which is absolutely nuts. So we get into that. We also talk about more personal stuff like her training and just kind of her thoughts on life and how she got to where she is today. And she's super nice. She's super cool. Please go support her. It's Cara's Pet Care, both on Instagram and Facebook. Also, the first 13 minutes or so, her parrot was freaking out, which I'm sorry in advance because it is a little bit annoying, but her parrot's super cool, so I'm not all that sorry. But for the first 13 minutes, we kind of digressed and talked about birds. So if you want to listen to that, please do. If not, skip ahead. We start talking about more along the lines of how she got to where she is at around 13 minutes. So please enjoy my conversation with Cara. When I talked to you the first time, I don't even remember when the hell it was. It was like
early summer.
Yeah, it was like probably like the second time that I met you.
Yeah.
And it was just like, what the hell do you do? But you had like no one that worked for you or anything.
Yeah, I think I just started because you met Zoe, who was the first one I hired.
Yeah, because she brought in like the most adorable Australian Shepherd.
Yeah.
And I was just like, holy shit, this is so cute.
Yeah.
So what's the like, how the hell, because how many people work for you now? But like, how did it all kind of happen? Like what?
Oh gosh. Well, 3 years ago, 2014, April 2014, back it up a little bit. February 2014, I had just started my 3rd semester of vet school, and I ended up with, one day I just woke up and I had this ankle pain that kind of lingered since I was younger, and it would happen in times of stress, but I didn't know what it was, maybe since I was 12 or something like that, and I would ice it and it would go away. I didn't really think much of it. And then later in the semester, it was like 3 days later probably, it was sciatica in my whole leg, and I had no idea what was going on.
Wait, it manifested in your ankle initially?
Yeah.
You didn't feel like anything in your hip?
No. It was like just in my ankle. And it was kind of a weird pain that I was used to, so I didn't think much of it. I always knew when I ran, like I was capable of like hitting my ankle the wrong way, and it would just be like super nervy, and I would jump back. And it was kind of like that same kind of weird achiness pain thing. So then when it became my whole leg, I was in vet school at Ross University in St. Kitts, so the Caribbean islands. And the HIV rate's pretty high down there. The islanders aren't known for being super aware medically or anything like that, and I just didn't trust a local hospital. So I didn't do anything about it. I was just trying to get through it. And it turned into, within 2 weeks, I was just awake and crying all the time. And at the time, the school had said, you can either stay and try to pass because you'll be restarting the semester anyways. It's a very cutthroat program where you fail anything.
Yeah, like anything medical is always like that.
Yeah, they just kind of kick you out. Like, it just is what it is. It didn't matter the reason. So I took my 2-week, medical leave, and I tried to get it together, and it had only been going on for, 5 days at the time. So I didn't know should I spend another $32,000 and leave now? Should I, whatever. So I talked to the dean, and he said you can stay and try to pass, or you can leave now, and you'll be paying the $32,000 a semester either way. And I was like, okay, well, I think
Your
I'll
bird
stay.
is freaking out right
Yeah,
now.
he's like shaking that. He's like, there are people here. Of course, wrong time.
That's totally fine.
Yeah.
So sorry.
No, that's okay. So I decided to stay and try to pass because I assumed that I could kind of get through it within that 2 weeks, and it didn't happen. And then when I failed, it was like that initial conversation never existed. So also this whole...
With the dean, you mean?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So like I was just done, and I didn't know what was going on, and medically I was just a mess. And so all of that was just terrible. So I had to leave vet school, and I thought my life was
sucks. They like
over.
didn't try to. They gave you that one.
Nope. Do you want me to just like...
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So they gave you that one kind of initial out.
Yeah.
Oh, can he like talk?
He can talk. That's what
What can he say?
He says peekaboo, hello. Maybe I'll just bring him over because he's going to be
Yeah. Please. Are birds like similar to dogs where they're kind of just like they grow crazy attached?
Yeah. I mean, they're generally one-person animals, and I've had them since I was 9 years old. My dad did a lot of exotic animal rescue. And we got him when he was a baby, and then he bit everybody in my family at least once.
Nice.
And he kind of latched on to me as his person. And so he's really great with me, and he really likes to entertain people from a distance and talk to them, and he wants to be involved in conversation and with people. He's very animated, but in general, he doesn't like other people touching him or handling him. They're just very, like, kind of cat-like.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always been kind of sketched out by birds.
Yeah.
Because I guess I just unknowingly had that kind of premonition of like they are one people. Because just every person that I knew that had a bird, the bird was just never about like having me like try to play with it or anything. They would just like tweak out and just like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. He really likes people being around. It's just kind of like a human. He just doesn't want people in his personal space. But he's like super cuddly. Like I don't know. He's really goofy.
With his person. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I
with
mean,
his
you've known him for, well, how old are you?
I'm 26.
26,
so
gotcha.
He's about 16 or 17. And we raised him since he had no feathers. So he knows like a handful of people. And he still remembers like my childhood friends who knew him then. Like
really?
If they come stay over or something
Birds
like
have that good a memory?
Such a good memory. He's smarter than most people I know. It's impressive.
Damn.
Like he figures people out, which is why it's so hard when he wants to be socially involved. He like gets a little nutty. It's like if you were to, ask a kid to sit over there while you're doing something.
Yeah.
He just likes to be in the conversation. But
gotcha. Well, yeah, because now, I mean, he's over here, granted, he just turned his butt towards me.
Yeah.
But he's just like, he's much more calm.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. He's a weird animal, but a cool dude.
It's so cool. I'm so like, I don't know, birds interest me a lot. I literally don't look into that interest at all, but it's just like when you see an animal that's like that vibrant in color and can like do the shit that birds can do, you're like, what a freaking amazing species. And they're all so freaking different. I was down in Florida, and it perfectly goes to like Darwin's evolution thing. And we were just like chilling on this like tiki bar thing, and we were up by like a beach, and the beach was just like filled with rocks, and you just saw this bird that essentially was like a seagull, a little bit smaller and stouter, with a frickin' beak that was probably like 10 inches long and like pencil thin.
Oh, jeez.
But it was like, that's frickin', like that's evolution at work, because you just see it and it's like going in between the rocks and shit. And I was like, what a frickin', I don't know, it's just one species where it's like you can so clearly see evolutionary processes.
Well, that's why his name is Rex, because when he was baby, they look like dinosaurs. They literally look like dinosaurs. It's impressive.
Really?
I don't know. He just had had these huge feet and this giant head and no feathers and just looked so ugly. But they sold him to us based on the photo of what they look like when they grow up.
They're like, I promise you it will not look like this turd forever.
Yeah, he looked like a chicken you were about to cook. that was still alive. Like, just weird.
Oh, that's so... Well, he's beautiful now.
Yeah, he knows it too. He's pretty him. Like, he loves to show off to people. Wow is one of his favorite things. And he'll... Rex, wow? Show him. Wow, you're beautiful. So he'll, like, show his wings off whenever you say that.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then he turns into a him. Wow. And
it's just like he's flexing.
Yeah, he's just like, oh yeah, this is me. Yeah, he's ridiculous.
What a savage. I love this bird.
Yeah, he's a nut. And he has codes that he asks people. And I had a friend over for dinner last week. Her name's Lauren. And she was eating this, like, potato chicken soup. So I was like, yeah, he can have some. But when you go in, it was like he wasn't here. We were just talking. And I was like, when you go in, if you want to let him eat off your plate, if you go and, like, make 2 kissy noises, he knows that that's, like, the signal that it's okay. But he won't know that you know the signal, so it's going to be impressive to him. So she was eating, and she was like, and it, like, blew his mind. He, like, walked up to her and was just, like, looking at her, and his eyes were dilating, and he was doing that. And he was just like, you know the code? Because nobody knows how to interact with these guys.
Yeah.
And so he had this, like, whole weird thing that he was impressed. And so now they're best friends, and she feeds him.
Ah, that's so cool.
He loves it. Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah. They're weird, very weird animals.
Yeah. I never knew, I guess just like ignorantly, that birds were so smart.
Yeah, well, they're extremely smart, but I also would never recommend them as pets because I got lucky with him. Most of them scream a ton and just don't get along with people. A lot of them were wild caught. So, like, a parrot it's like they're as individual as people. So people go out and buy one, especially the adults at the store, and then they don't get along, they don't jive, and then they just get bit a lot.
Gotcha.
And they have the intelligence of a toddler. So them trapped in a cage all day without any social interaction is just insane. So, yeah.
Huh. Very cool. Interesting.
Yeah. It's a little zoo. Yeah. He laughs too. It's pretty funny. He's just doing a little bit, but...
I'm blown away. This is the most I've ever been with a bird.
Yeah. He has that effect on people.
If my friend Ellie was here right now, one of my friends is petrified of birds. I've never, like, it's just, know how a lot of people are afraid of spiders, myself included?
Yeah.
But I can be in a room with a spider.
Right.
And, like, I could have the potential to go near it and take care of it if need be. If there is a bird even remotely around Ellie, she flips the fuck out.
What an interesting fear.
I was like, were you, like, attacked as a child?
Yeah, like, what is this?
I don't know. It's so weird. But he seems so nice.
Yeah, he's super sweet. And he loves entertaining people, and he's really, really low key. He just likes, they like to be involved just like people. So people get them with the expectation that they're kind of like a pet that you can leave unstimulated in a cage for 8 hours a day because they're a caged animal, and it's just not the way they work.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So very unlike a dog.
Yeah.
Because a dog you can leave caged up and then you come back and it's going to frickin' jump for joy.
Right.
And be totally fine most of the time usually. But
they actually have, like, a lot of self-mutilation problems. They'll, like, pluck their feathers when they're unhappy.
Really?
Yeah, they have tons of problems when they get unhappy or they're not fed the right, like, pelleted food. A lot of people think bird seed's okay for them, and it's not. It's just high-fat diets don't jive well for a parrot that's meant to be super active and, eating off clay licks and flying 250 miles a day. It's like, it's just insane.
They fly 250 miles a day?
Yeah, they fly. They were showing these, I read this study about these maps and where all these flocks would travel. And they just fly all the time.
Holy shit.
They're flying to these clay licks. They actually eat these poison berries, and then they eat clay. And the clay absorbs some of the poison, so we can't emulate their diet in captivity. So we just do the best we can in these formulated pellets and fresh vegetables and that sort of thing. But it's kind of like we've just been getting it wrong for so long that avian medicine is so...
Have we known that it's been wrong?
Yeah, but we can't really...
Well, like, how long, I guess I should have asked.
Oh, well, we have been importing them for about 100 years as pets. They stopped the importation ban in 92 for wild-caught ones, so we've been breeding in captivity since then, and it's just been, like, variety is key. Like, just try to feed them. They came up with pellets, I want to say in the 90s, but I'm not 100% sure.
Huh.
Some big zoo, usually driven by zoos who are looking to keep their animals healthy. So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This has turned into a great bird info session.
Bird discussion. Yeah.
But anyway, to go back to like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So you, unfortunately, you have this ankle pain, radiates up because it's sciatica.
Yeah.
And then you obviously can't do any. It's excruciating pain.
It was I didn't think you would be capable of being in that much pain 24/7.
Yeah.
And I guess sciatica typically isn't constant for people, but this was because they found a mass, an episacral mass. So it was like putting pressure on all the nerves that went down to the left leg.
Gotcha.
So it was super odd.
Yeah.
So I got back and I started doing CrossFit, but it was like I had these super awesome coaches in healthcare who were like, some days they were like, carry this plate across the room and like step on a box 3 times. Like that was my...
Yeah. So it seemed like, unfortunately, CrossFit has such a negative connotation with it.
Yeah.
Because they're just, I mean, it's right in many ways, but it's also 100% wrong in probably 10 times more ways, because CrossFit's great and there are absolutely awesome coaches in CrossFit. Right. And luckily you ran into the right ones.
Yeah.
Who do you, what's the place that you go to?
It was CrossFit Bonafide.
CrossFit Bonafide.
Next to Eastern Mountain Sports.
In
Portsmouth.
I think I met the head coach. He's a younger guy, right? Or am I thinking of the wrong place?
Well, it was Kevin O'Connell, and now it's Chris Martin.
Chris Martin. Who the hell did I think I met Kevin.
Yeah,
like
probably.
Is Kevin like 30?
Yeah. Okay, super animated. You would know if you met him.
Definitely met Kevin. He's like oddly friends with my girlfriend works at Seacoast.
Oh, okay.
And all the baseball guys at Seacoast United.
He knows everyone.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised.
He's a super cool guy.
Yeah, really fun, and they were just really like...
And he has his master's in exercise physiology.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about the same guy.
I don't know. Possibly. I have no idea.
I mean, it seems like he's super smart.
Super smart, though. Yeah. I had a couple really great coaches, and they were just like, take it as it comes, and then...
were you going to like PT or anything like that? Were you seeing like a physician? Or
I had this insanely high deductible, so I did start going to Portsmouth PT here and there, and then I went to Carrie Jose, and she helped a lot. Both of them helped a lot. They were really great. They did like electric stim and the ligaments around the sacrum. It helped at Portsmouth PT. Yeah, and it did help. And then, but it was just, I think it was just getting everything moving again. Yeah. Limping and hunched over for so long. It was like 3 months before they found anything. After I got back in the United States, it was 2 months that
Wait, you were going to CrossFit like while you still had this mass and it was like undiagnosed? And...
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I remember working with Trevor James was one of my original coaches, and he's like this crazy athlete. He's awesome, and he's so nice. But I had never done anything before at all. Like nothing. No sports, no. I was banned from gym class in high school, like literally banned because I kept hurting myself.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was like
so you just
ridiculously
never had
clumsy. No coordination. And I remember one day I was just like stepping up on a box, and I stepped up and my leg didn't catch and I just fell down.
What?
And he was just looking at me like,
are you shitting me?
Yeah, and I was like, well, nothing's working right. So it was funny. It was an interesting journey health-wise, but...
it seems like it. But, so you come back from, you unfortunately fail out. They clearly didn't give a shit.
Right.
Unfortunately, you're not, that's just kind of how they do business with anything medical.
Right.
So you come back, you're not going back to the program. They didn't offer you to come back.
Nope.
Nor you probably didn't want to at that point.
Right. I was like kind of out of my mind.
Yeah. So how old were you at this point?
22.
22?
Yeah.
So then what did you do?
So I started trying to work at the vet clinic again, teching. It's like a vet nurse job that I had done in undergrad. And every dog that, like, my job was to restrain them for blood draws or draw blood on them. And they're unpredictable. They move. You move with them or somebody will get bit.
Oh, and you got this whole shit going on.
Yeah, so I
it's
can't.
Like next to impossible to do.
I can't move. Yeah, I would turn the wrong way, and the staff there was so nice to me. They were really trying to keep me doing what I love, but it just wasn't working out. So a couple of the vets there and the reception staff were giving out my card for pet sitting, and I was just like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. Like, I can do that. I can sit in somebody's house while they're on vacation and make sure, send them photos, make sure their pet's taken care of. But I was like up all night limping around and like crying every other day and just...
That's horrible.
And yeah, outrageous amount of pain. And then it was like this weird, like once your hip is bugging you, then your neck starts bugging you. And like, it's just like, I felt like a crazy person. Because I was like, well, yesterday, like, it was this left leg, and today it's the right, and now I can't turn to, like, it was just this...
It sucks.
Yeah, cycle of just, I was like crawling to the Lawrence General ER in the middle of the night, and they definitely thought I was just drug seeking, because I was just... out of my mind. I was
my God.
I haven't slept in 3 months.
Were you like living on your own, or did it like...
I was at my mom's house, and then I was at my best friend's parents' house, and I was like trying to go back to school at UNH because I went to vet school without my bachelor's, so I was like, I'll try to go back to school, which was just the wrong decision.
Yeah.
It was just...
Well, I mean, you seem to be in like such a terrible spot at that point.
I just didn't know. I was just scrambling, and then school stressed me out because of all the exams, the high-stakes exams I was taking in vet school when I was trying to do them, when I wasn't prepared or wasn't sleeping.
And you're just, like, walking around constantly stressed because of a physical issue.
Yeah, so you're just like, I'm not sleeping, I was trying to study and get through that, which right now is kind of, like, funny to think about. I was so hard on myself, and it just wasn't working.
Yeah.
And I was taking these exams, and I was crying through them, and, like, I knew I wasn't going to pass, but I passed 2 out of 4 classes, which I still don't know how that happened, but, it was terrible. It was just luck, I think.
I mean, if you're going through that much, and you're still putting yourself through studying and stuff, I'm going to say that there's more kind of work ethic than luck.
I was just
passing those 2 out of 4. That sucks. That really sucks.
It really sucked.
And it's not like a thing that you see with most, because when you see most people with like low back pain or like sciatica symptoms, because sciatica technically you have to have for like 6 months because it's like a chronic issue. So, but yeah, when you see people with like acute symptoms like that, usually you can clean it up pretty fast. But you had like legitimate pathology there of having a mass on your sacrum.
Yeah, and it's like what nobody could have.
Like somebody, I'm sure you had to get like either X-ray or MRI to see it.
So I had X-rays and they didn't see anything. And then when they did, the health insurance wouldn't approve an MRI right away, which was awful. Like with back pain, it was like you have to go through this, and this. And I know like they're just looking at the financial aspect. And
it's just insurance has like a billion hoops to jump through.
Oh my God, it was awful. And so my doctor,
especially when you're walking in like you're literally crawling to the ER at this point.
Yeah, like I was like,
you're like, dude, like there's something wrong here.
Like I remember like sitting in the parking lot, like I think I can make it to the front door, and I just looked. I probably did look like, a drug addict crawling into the ER in the middle of the night. I was just like a crazy person. So, so they didn't do a heck of a lot every time I went in. And then when I would see my regular doctor, she would just try to like do another round of meds, and then I was on prednisone, like really high dose.
Your PCP didn't like refer you out or anything?
She tried a couple different things, but the problem was everybody wanted an MRI, and I needed to be on all these. They were like putting me on medications before they would start to look at that. It was a very like long process.
Weird. You would think like after one trial of like pain medication that it's just like, hey, like
I wouldn't take still wrong. Like I was really nervous about any of like the heavy pain medications, so I accepted prednisone.
Is that for the same reason of like what we were talking before?
Yeah, sense. I get all like, I don't know.
That makes sense.
Just a road that slippery slope.
Yeah.
So they put me on high dose prednisone, which I really didn't understand the side effects of that because that was pretty impressive how much damage came from that too. But it did work. It did help. Yeah. And then finally my PCP after 2.5 months said, let's get an ultrasound of that spot. And that's how they found it.
Thank you.
Yeah, finally. Something insurance would approve, but...
Yeah, gotcha. So you found out that it's a mass, and then
3 weeks later, they did surgery.
Gotcha. Took it out.
Yeah. And then I just kept going to the gym and dog sitting. Didn't know what else to do. And tried to go to school that semester. But I remember even after the surgery, like there was one day I was at UNH and there was I was in the dining hall and I was totally fine. And this is what would happen. I stood up from the seat and like felt the nerve pain. Like I was just like, this is bad. And like I had parked my car down a hill and around the corner. You probably know like the MUB. Do you know UNH?
Unfortunately, not as well as I should.
Oh, I thought you were a student there.
No, I went to Springfield.
Oh, okay. Yeah, UNH, there's like this giant hill in front of the main building with the dining hall. And so I was like walking down this hill and I couldn't get there and I was just crying. Like I was like inching along and I was just crying. And this guy on the football team was walking by, like 60 people walked past me and this guy on the football team was like, can I help you with something? Because I was like a nutcase. And I said, well, my car's down there. And I like handed this random person keys to my car to go get it. Because I like couldn't go anywhere. And so turns out he didn't know how to drive a standard. So then he like called somebody else. It was really funny.
But what a nice guy.
He was nice, yeah. I felt really bad because his like friends were making fun of him for
fuck his
driving up. But it was really, really sweet. And I was like, that's so nice. So we finally
awesome.
got in my car and then I like tried to make it home and it was a crazy year. So I just started pet sitting for people because I couldn't do anything else. Yeah.
You're out of school at this point, right?
Yeah. Yep. And I was like, people were like, is this your career? And I'm like, I don't know. I was like, maybe I'll get into vet school again, or maybe I'll go to naturopathic medical school, or anything. I was just like kind of out of my mind and didn't know what to do.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that was fun.
It sounds very unfun. But, I mean, so you said you weren't really sure what you were going to do, like in terms of career-wise. So kind of what happened after that point? So you just kind of continued to dog sit and then it just turned into something?
That. Yeah. And then it just grew. And
when did you know that it was more something that you were leaning? Because you seemed like there was like 4 or 5 different paths that you wanted to go down. And then it seemed like you just ended up going down one you're on now.
It was so funny. There was one week where I was just like calm. I don't know, 2 years in, 2 years later, 2 years after leaving vet school. And I was just like...
A week in particular?
Yeah, there was just 1 week where I was like, I made enough money this week. Like, I have regular clients booking every day. I feel relatively relaxed. I mean, it's a job, and you still have to, animals get into things. There's still stress, but, like, nothing like putting yourself through the artificial stress of school and people being, difficult, and the stress I put on my body through that, studying and over-caffeinating cycle of vet school that everybody does. And so
I'm looking forward to going into it now.
Yeah. Sorry. No, I'm really negative about the experience, but it's great for a lot of people.
Don't get me wrong. It's awesome.
It's perfect. No, it was just, I don't know.
So you just had like a week of clarity almost.
Yeah. And then my brother came up and actually, he's had some issues. He was like, he came up and he was kind of childlike in a way. Like he was.
Is he
like,
older or younger?
He's older. He's older by like 4 or 5 years. Paul. And he was just amazed at my life. And it gave me like a new perspective. Because he just, he had kind of gone off the beaten path himself, but in a lot of negative ways. And he was just kind of getting his life back together.
Yeah.
And he was like just seeing what I was doing. And I was like, wow, I guess this is really a good
it's hard to kind of like
that perspective, and I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, everything's going okay.
So it all kind of happened in this week.
Yeah. And his truck broke down, so he got stuck there for like 2 weeks, which was funny. He got stuck up here in Maine. His truck broke down, and then he was like stuck in this town. And
where does he live?
He lives in North Andover, Mass. It's not too far.
Oh, not too far at all.
Not too far, but it's far enough when you don't have transportation.
Yeah, very true. Gotcha. Oh, that's pretty cool then.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. And then he was telling me that one of the guys he worked with roofing, his mother owned a doggy daycare. And he was like, you should do that. I guess she's doing really well and it's really popular. And I was like, huh. So I thought about it and I was like looking at it and I was thinking about it. I do like dog park trips all day and I was like, that would be awesome. So then I spent the next year kind of looking for property for that and decided it was a job that I was doing, a career.
But you don't have like a brick and mortar. You're like completely mobile, right?
Yes, but we got town approval for a brick and mortar building back in July here in Berwick.
Hey.
So there's the Berwick Bark Park over here, and the owners of the property are building it, and I'm leasing from them.
Very cool.
My previous roommate, who was an engineer, drew up some plans, and like literally got to build what I want. That's
incredible.
Yeah, it's super awesome. So I'm
How big? Like, what's the facility going to look like? What are we talking about here?
2,000 square feet. I'm super excited. 2,000 square feet. A large dog area and a small dog area. A room for crate training puppies. An office. Some retail space. Cat boarding. Grooming room. It'll be fun.
Damn. That's wild.
It'll be really fun.
So take me after, because now we're seeing the end product. This is what, how many years deep after this week? After that clarity week, how many years past are you now? Or about months maybe? A year, because I had been... A year? And you're freaking where you are now? Yeah, because I had been trying to get different... I was just like, I have this extremely low budget, but I'm pretty sure I can find a warehouse building, and I tried several times. Yeah. But it's getting it through town planning boards, because anytime you tell them... I have no idea. Yeah. So basically the way towns work are... different areas of town are zoned for different uses. So you can have a retail zoned area, right? They don't want you to preserving your town structure. Like you have certain parts of towns that are zoned as residential or zoned as industrial even. So like big trucks, whatever, things like that. Et cetera. Yeah, the towns want to keep that structure. So I would go and find a warehouse that was industrial zoned, but within those you have to have zoning for specific uses. And so if it's not zoned, doggy daycares are a relatively new thing, but a lot of towns have kennels, which pretty much aren't allowed anywhere because nobody wants 100 barking dogs 24/7 near their house. Yeah, right? Makes sense. So it was going through that process. And it's probably like difficult to get something like that near like an auto body shop maybe, just because of like, I don't know, like it wouldn't be good for the animal maybe, being around that type of stuff. Yeah. Is that not true? I was just worried about traffic. Some high trafficked areas, I wanted to stay away from that. Makes sense. I also, a big thing with putting groups of dogs together is you don't want to corner them and you don't want them in small spaces. So Portsmouth, there's almost nowhere where you can find a lot of outdoor space in a warehouse building. It's just not going to happen most likely. Yeah. So found something up here in Berwick eventually, and it was pretty cool. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say eventually is a year. A year is pretty fast. I guess it's fast. It didn't feel fast when I was going through the different towns and they were telling me no. Yeah, I'm sure that it didn't. Yeah. But take me after, like, step by step after that week. Because there's, I mean... Yeah. Because it seems like you, like, inadvertently created this thing over 2 years of just randomly dog sitting for people. Then you have this clarity week, right? Yeah. And then it's just like, oh, shit, like, I actually have something here. It kind of feels like that. So what happened was probably right after that week when I decided to be like pretty serious about it. I started with some software for dog walking to organize it. I wanted you to ask you about this actually. Sorry to cut you off. Yeah, no, that's okay. That thing that what was the app that you used, right? It was Doggy Logs back then, and it didn't do anything except I click a button and I check into the appointment and it GPS tracks your walk. And then you hit end and it sends this like goofy little report card and like shows where the dog went to the bathroom. And it's super cute and really silly, but it just gave people this peace of mind that I didn't know that they needed at the time. Yeah. Checking in and out of cat visits, it would send a text to their phone that said like, hey, this
this appointment was completed. So they had this peace of mind that a lot of companies didn't offer at the time.
Yeah, that you were actually doing what you said you were doing.
Yeah, I was like taking pictures of clean water bowls and everything we did and posting things to Facebook and, you know, so it was just accountability, I guess, was the big deal.
Yeah, and it just like kind of amplifies your already great personality of like being friendly and like you actually, but you're like, you're genuinely nice.
Oh, thank you. I like people a lot.
Yeah, and you obviously love animals. So, and like just kind of displaying that, like it makes people feel very comfortable with, the most important animal in their life.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
So you started using this doggy walks.
Yeah, doggy logs.
Doggy logs,
yeah,
sorry.
That's okay. They, so I used that software and people were like showing their friends and I got a lot of new clients out of it. And
yeah,
it was
word
so
of mouth
funny.
right there.
Yeah, because they were just like out to dinner with friends and showing them and like things tripled in size after that. And I was like, that was interesting. Huh. And so then I got so busy. It was just 9 months ago or so, right around Easter this year, Easter 2017, when I was looking at the schedule and I was like, I can't do this myself.
Yeah.
Like I am not going to be able to do this schedule. And it scared me to...
I'm only one lady.
Yeah, only one person and I can't be in 4 towns at once. And, so then Zoe came on to help me. And then from there...
Is she still on with you?
She's no, she'll pick up appointments occasionally, but she's in college. And she works at a dog style kittery. She does doggy daycare, regular hours.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's been pretty fun.
So how many people do you have working for you now?
8 in total.
8?
Yeah, 8 people. And
how many are there any full-time? Are they mostly part-time? Or 8 people? Holy shit.
Yeah, there's 4 that are full-time.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then 4 that kind of call and occasionally that I wish I could steal for full-time, but, they have lives and other commitments. Yeah.
You have 4 full-time employees?
Yeah, it's super fun.
And that's all within 9 months?
Yep. It was just, and the summers tend to grow quicker because people go away on vacation for a week, hire us for in-home care, and then figure out they can use us regularly. So
yeah, and the word of mouth thing that you were talking about. Yeah, it seems like you have a pretty unique business model.
Yeah, I think we do because most people do visits and dog walks, and I'm just kind of a hippie about it. I'm like, I'll do whatever you want. In that time, sometimes I keep people's dogs till 5:30 and they're like, where are they? Stole them.
We're playing.
We're just playing up the street. I'll bring them back though, I swear.
That blows me away. You have 4 full-time. Okay, so what do they do? Do you just kind of coordinate with them on houses to go to?
Yeah.
Or do they kind of find their own clients, or how does that work?
No, so I book the clients and do a meet and greet appointment with them. And figure that out.
Rex is flying in place right
now.
Yeah,
he's like, I am not the center of attention right now. I don't understand. He just wants to be admired 24/7. That's how his brain works.
Well, he should be. He is very beautiful.
He knows it. You can't make his ego any larger. He's an interesting animal.
All right, so I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, that was me. So Scout for Pets is our new software. And it's really cool. They did scheduling, so they allow me to book something and then assign it to a person on staff. And so once it's assigned, it pops up on an app on their phone. And they basically just follow this app, and it'll tell them where to go next and the time of the appointment. And they can click on it and write a report card, and it does the GPS tracking and take photos, and it sends a cute report card to the owner's email.
That's freaking nuts.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah.
And it's easy. It does
awesome.
Automated billing, anything. It basically organizes everything.
Got it. Oh, that sounds very similar to what Justin uses for the gym. Mind Body Express or whatever. Kind of does everything for you. But this is you can essentially run your business on this app.
Yeah.
Which makes it crazy easy.
It's really easy. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. They have an app for everything now. Payroll. They have an app for everything.
Now, how do you treat them as independent contractors or?
Ooh, through the end of the year, yes, and then I think we're switching to employees next month. Actual.
Really?
Employees.
Now, how is this for you? Because you came from. Within 9 months, you've turned into a businesswoman. But before that,
no
you
idea.
were just a person. Yeah, how did that happen? What was that transition like for you? So that's an issue with a lot of people, especially in my field. where like someone wants to open up their own clinic and it's like, oh shit, like I don't have a lick of business know-how.
Yeah, there's some really great resources, like Seacoast Score is one of them, where they have some free advice and people to help you kind of set up your LLC and, figure everything out. I had a great accountant in Northampton who kind of referred me a bookkeeper, so that helps. Just all sorts of
Gotcha.
like figuring things out
Yeah.
as I go and doing things wrong sometimes and turning around
And
then
being like, oh, should probably change that.
Should switch that up. So, yeah.
Have you noticed like a change in yourself at all?
Well, one thing that's really awesome about working with people is that before, when people went on vacation, I had to be somewhere every 4 hours, no matter what. And now it's like we can kind of switch off and people are used to the team aspect. So I feel like I am almost to the point where I can take a day off or go away or do something and it is more than a job. It's something that's running on its own.
Gotcha. So you feel like more comfortable. It's almost automated. Well,
Yeah.
it definitely is automated,
Yeah.
but it's like you've automated yourself to be able to kind of
Right.
let things work it out without you micromanaging type
Yeah.
thing. Doing that within 9 months is wild.
It's
First off,
crazy for me, too.
because no small business person ever has been like, oh, I feel comfortable like a half a year in. That's nuts.
Well, it's like I'm still tired all the time, but I'm always invoicing at 2:00 in the morning or something. But I feel like it'll get to this point soon where, it is fully running on its own kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so what's the like goal here? Like what do you want to...
So I would like to keep this going with the daycare so that we could have a strict evaluation process and we can decide, like, a lot of dogs are really, really great dogs, but just like introverted people, daycare is not the option for them. It's a lot for them. It's overstimulating. They act out. They get aggressive because they feel cornered. But for some dogs, it's like the best thing in the world. It's like a happy yellow lab who just wants to go play for 8 hours a day. It's the best thing ever. So I hired a trainer who's starting next month, and she's going to be doing like individual training sessions with people, and she's going to be on site for the daycare. So just kind of starting that evaluation process because I don't have a real behavior background.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
hire someone who does.
Yeah, where you're gonna like get this huge facility and stuff.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I'm freaking blown away.
It's super fun. I had no idea that this was where I was going to go with it, but
Yeah, are you happy with how it is? Like
I am. I'm happy with everything. It's just taking the schedule gets a little crazy and trying to make sure that everything flows smooth, but changes week to week, and I like that a lot. Some people like a well-scheduled life. It's kind of not my jam, so
No.
that part's
gets
pretty
boring
funny.
when it starts getting too scheduled.
Yeah, and I'm like, what am I doing today? Well, my phone will tell me. Yeah.
Damn.
It's pretty fun.
That's freaking crazy. Now, when you said that you want to make it fully automated, like give me like the 5-year plan here.
Oh, the 5-year plan.
5-month plan, because you're
5-month
moving
plan,
so
no.
you're moving so
We'll see.
fast where...
I'm like, I don't know. What I would like to be able to do, Diana's been taking on a lot of like management responsibilities and scheduling, and so the app works that people can put in something and it can pop up for an hour from now. Now we can accept or decline it, and we can say like, hey, that doesn't work for anyone, but we never really have. We've always found somebody who's like,
Interesting.
Yeah,
it seems like you have a great team of people.
They're awesome. So a lot of them I worked with at VCA, that animal hospital that I was talking about.
Gotcha.
And so they picked up like a day or two a week, and they're just, they know what they're doing, and it makes people feel comfortable that they're vet techs. They're, have that nursing background.
Yeah.
And then having like a couple people who either run their own business and like want to pick up some extra stuff because it's early on, or, whatever. So it's been really nice to just have more people to draw on.
Yeah. No, for sure. Well, I mean, 8 folks to draw on is pretty...
Yeah. Like, hey, can somebody available right now?
Yeah.
And it usually works out.
And it can just make your clientele blow open because you have so many hands on deck.
Yeah, and it's super fun because they've all had some really awesome experience with animals. And if not teching, like Morgan is holistic, like plant-based chef, and she runs her own business doing that. And she's, if I could steal her forever, I would, but she won't let me. But she's super awesome. She loves to be flexible and just pick up what she can when she can. And
Gotcha.
she's got 2 rescue pit bulls who totally will change like that pit bull stereotype. They're just awesome dogs.
I've met so many pit bulls that have changed the stereotype.
Yeah.
It's like, there shouldn't be a stereotype. They're
No,
awesome dogs.
They're such great dogs. And like one of them, she has this horrible story. Her name's Cricket. She was found like beaten in an alley. And she's literally a dog that we use to like test how other dogs do because she's so nice. She's
Really?
just so low key and so wonderful. And Morgan is like happy to get her out and get exercise, so she loves to do like the long hikes or time in backyards.
Yeah,
it's really fun.
You should send her with Justin.
Yeah, right?
A 20-mile run.
Yeah, seriously.
Wow.
Oh.
I like, it's freaking wild. I can't believe, like, you've crushed it. For sure. I like knew that you
crazy.
I knew that you did, but like I've never heard of a small business growing that fast.
It's been a little bit nuts.
Yeah.
Like some days I'm like, I don't know.
That's such a testament to what the product is, though.
Well, I
and
haven't.
like who you are.
I don't have a website. I don't have.
Get
I'm
on
not
that.
listed in any Yellow Pages. Well, I'm like, I don't think I could handle it.
I don't
if
think
I
a
start
single
getting
person
more...
knows what Yellow Pages even is. So
Well,
don't
you
worry
know.
about that. Yeah, get a goddamn
Google,
website.
whatever.
Haven't you
But,
heard of
you know.
Squarespace?
I am not artistic. Someone's working on it currently, but it like the thought of things happening quicker than they are makes me panic.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
So like Facebook has just been what I use,
Gotcha.
and it's just referral based, and eventually we'll get a website up.
If you get a website and you start getting like an email list, and you do maybe, I don't know what you do on social media, but even a little bit more, you are gonna blow the hell up.
I know it's crazy, but it's almost too.
It might be too much.
Like,
yeah, you
that's
might
why
want
I'm
to kind of.
like, we'll just wait on that.
Oh my god! Yeah, just stay with your like 1990s.
yeah. Like I'm like it's fine.
Advertisement system.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like it's totally fine. People talk to each other. It's funny.
Well, yeah, no, but I mean, with something like this, especially in like New England, you couldn't have picked a better area for, because we all, I shouldn't say we all, but on average, disposable income, and we like to go do stuff.
Right, that's true.
And a lot of us have animals.
Yeah.
And we need people to take care of them while we're out doing that stuff.
Right, that's true.
Type of thing. Yeah, we're like it's just because we have more money than the average Joe, and we're willing to pay someone to take care of the animal that we love.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. There's a lot of people who are saying like millennials are having more pets than kids right now because of the financial burden. So kind of like an interesting
that's
opposite.
another thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting opposite thing. And I found that to be true. Like there's definitely like the millennial crowd are really into it's never, just a pet. They love the accountability. They love knowing what their dog did. They, a lot of people don't leave them alone really during the day, and so they're just part of the family, and we treat them like that. So
yeah,
it's been great.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think that's why everyone likes you and likes how you said that they were all techs, all your employees, because it's like, oh, they know what they're doing. Yeah, it's not just like Joe Schmo coming to walk my dog,
right?
Type of thing.
Yeah, and we do a lot of like diabetic cats or animals that need injections.
Yeah, you were telling me that you had to give a cat a diabetes shot or something like that.
Yeah, and it happens a lot because people can't just be like, "Hey, friend," like.
Yeah.
They don't.
No, do you need training for that, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
Like, is there any sort of like certification that is required?
No, not necessarily. I mean, veterinary medicine, as far as teching, they're starting to get more into certifications. Gotcha. But I was a trained on the job technician in undergrad, and in high school I worked in vet hospitals, but it's changed a lot over the last few years. Yeah, that's why I asked, because usually, I don't know, there's some frickin' word salad that you need at the end of your name to do stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot of CVTs who are really great people, but they go to school for, it's a relatively short program, but they can do a 2-year program, and it's kind of like getting your RN in the animal world, so. Gotcha. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm freaking blown away. I can't believe it. Thank you. Yeah, congratulations. That's freaking wild. I was like, oh, she's got like a nice small company. It's growing like pretty steadily. No, it's freaking... It's been crazy. Blown up like a bomb. Like it is... It was like once I set the intention to that it was my full-time thing. Yeah. That's when it was like... You gotta thank Paul. Yeah, seriously. I know. I know. He probably still has no idea. Well, you should tell him. Hopefully he'll listen to this. And I hope he does. Yeah.
Yeah.
It helped a lot because he was just like, this is really great. Like, and it's funny because when you're stuck in something that's so depressing for so long, and I was like, oh yeah, I make $20 here and there walking somebody's dog.
Yeah.
It's a lot different than like, Car, you got a lot of things to do, and like, there's a lot of people that are asking you to do this. And I was like, huh, there are. Like, you know, it's really funny. Yeah, like, you're right. This is actually happening.
Yeah, so how do you feel now? We'll end it on that, because I'm sure that it's good.
Yeah, I am excited just to see what happens in the next year. It's going to be crazy.
But you're, like, happy with everything?
I'm happy. I feel pretty good. I feel like I can, like, manage chronic pain with this lifestyle, which is a big deal. So that's been awesome. I mean, it's just... wellness is important to me now. I didn't realize when I was in school, and overworking yourself was a big part of the deal. Everybody's taught to overwork themselves, and it's like a pride thing for us when we're in school.
It seemed like you applied all that kind of anxiety that you had towards doing well in school, towards taking care of yourself. Yeah, it was kind of necessary. Like, I mean, a year... it seemed very necessary. A year after, I remember I went to a naturopathic doctor, and I was like, I literally am sleeping until noon and go to bed at 7 p.m. An ND? Yeah, an ND. And I was Those are interesting folks. Yeah, they're really great a lot of the time, actually. If you have, like, kind of... I don't know, like hormonal or bizarre, like kind of health issues, they're really good at figuring that stuff out. I don't really know the training that they get, but I know that they go for, I think it's like 4.5. So it's like longer than medical, it's longer than like MD or DO program. Yeah, it is a medical school, and they can be your general practitioner. Like you can run it through health insurance. They're really gaining a lot of... Yeah, and only certain states. Yeah, I think Maine and New Hampshire. Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, or Vermont might not be, actually. Yeah. You would think that Vermont would be. You would think, yeah. But I'm not 100%. I know they've been like fighting for it for a long time, and I think with good reason, so I don't know. They work for a lot of folks. Yeah, I met with this naturopath who was like, let's put you on some supplements to, you know, help you get your energy back. But also... What did they give you, just out of curiosity? A couple of adaptogenic herbs, like adrenal supplements, B vitamins in the morning. Yeah, I think that's about it. Some like liver supplement to help clear. They said prednisone really taxes your liver. So I was having some like weird issues, like edema in my legs, which is odd. Like massive edema. Like I went on vacation to Belize, and I in your entire leg or like your ankles? In my legs. So what happened was, my roommates thought I was a little crazy, I think, because I'm very weird about what I eat, because I get like a lot of inflammation really quickly if I eat poorly. Yeah. And we went away to Belize, so we just ate crap and drank a lot of alcohol. Yeah. Pretty much. And I couldn't fit in the clothes that we left in. This was a 7-day vacation. I gained 24 pounds over the course of this vacation. Holy shit. In fluid in my legs. And then that's when I went to the naturopath and was like, I'm sleeping all the time and I feel crazy because this got removed and now I can't, you know, like. And did they help the inflammation? Like what she gave you? Yeah, they did acupuncture and then some interesting supplements to help your body get rid of water. Like they describe in Chinese medicine, like holding dampness. Huh. It was super interesting. Yeah. But it was like more Ayurvedic medicine, kind of like, it's interesting. They talk a lot about like your body accumulating water and eating different foods. They talk about cooling versus warming foods. Huh. It was really interesting, and how alcohol is stressful. Oh, Eastern. Yeah. Alcohol is stressful. It's very stressful on your, What's your diet like now? Are you like, Yeah, I eat pretty, it's like, mostly whole food based, kind of paleo-ish, because I eat it. Paleo-ish. I eat rice. I don't eat fruit, really. They did like this food allergy testing, and it was fun because it kind of fell in line with the Whole30. But then my sister... Did you do the Whole30? Yeah. So you look like you dropped a lot of weight. Yeah, it helps a lot. I mean, well, the last time I saw you was, I don't know, May, I guess, or June. Yeah, 20 pounds since then, I think. Wow, that's mostly awesome. Fluid, because you're looking good. Oh, thank you. You're welcome. Well, if I eat poorly,
it's like...
You can gain 24 pounds in a week?
Yeah. No, really, I'm not joking. It's
That's freaking wild.
It's really weird. My body is... It's like... It is more water balanced, though, I think, than actual weight.
Yeah. For sure. Like with edema and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, people can easily put on a ton. It's just inflammation. It's just...
Yeah. And so that's why I think the Whole30 has these, like, crazy, drastic results for me, because it's not really, like... I don't think it's usually weight. I think it's... Like
it's
that
not.
Inflammation.
Yeah, I'm telling you that it's not.
It's really interesting.
Do you take any of the like supplementation or anything? Or
I take fish oil.
Gotcha.
And
how
that
many
made
milligrams, if you don't mind me asking, or grams, I guess?
I think it's 2 grams. It's that SFH.
Gotcha.
Fish oil. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
2 grams. A lot of people are going to tell you that's too much. I'm going to tell you.
Seems to work.
That's pretty good.
So,
yeah, well, it's just like...
It seems to work.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's omega-3 is so anti-inflammatory. That's perfect for you.
Yeah.
That's why I asked. I was going to ask if you were on like a higher fat diet.
I think probably more than most people.
Yeah.
I would say. I eat at... there's a really cool business in Dover called Turnip the Beat, because I'm super crazy and I can't... I used to love to cook. And I can't cook a lot now because I'm always on the road and in other people's kitchens.
Understand.
So
yeah.
She does like this really awesome meal prep thing. And I just go and buy like all these Tupperwares, and she'll tell you like which farm the meat came from. Like it's all organic.
Oh, that's super cool.
It's really cool, right in downtown.
What's that place called? Sorry.
Turnip the Beat.
Turnip the Beat? I love that.
It's really cute. And the owner's super nice. So I buy like pretty much my week worth of food from her, and then it is so easy to do. So,
yeah.
You know, paleo-ish.
Paleo-ish,
yeah.
Gotcha. That's probably good for you.
Yeah, it's good.
It seems, I mean, your energy level's high and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, and then like I left kind of the intensity of CrossFit behind when I started at Gain, and that helps me too, because I think CrossFit was great when it was mellow. And then higher intensity for me, I think, just adds to stress and inflammation. I have like a nice... I need to exercise every day, but I need to not go overboard.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't do like a lot of... Gain is just perfect for you.
Yeah,
The high intensity stuff is just so pro-inflammatory where...
Yeah.
It's just not going to do you any good.
Yeah.
You're good for do the movement type stuff, but kind of the like... Not low and slow, but just nice, like moderate intensity is what you're looking for.
Yeah, because it's just, I don't know, too much.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, for me.
Especially where now you have a lot on the line with being able to function.
To do things during the day, yeah.
Yeah, so it's important.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah, it's been really cool because... I'd never had any experience in athletics before, and so it was fun.
You seem very knowledgeable now.
Oh goodness!
Well,
I just feel
more than your average person in like nutrition and all that type of stuff. You're very self-aware about stuff.
Yeah, well, I think I have to be. I'm broken really quickly.
You had a lot of lessons in that.
Yeah, it works. I mean, I don't think I could ever do that. Like, I mean, I'm 26, but I feel like I have that like 60-year-old mentality, because if I don't eat well or do things right, I get sick really quickly. So and my previous roommates were very into CrossFit, and they were like this ultra competitive, like they were just like, so you're really not competitive at all? And I was like, no, like I can't, that just my body doesn't allow it. Not in terms of that,
at least.
I just can't. Yeah. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
It's not my but it was really cool introduction to all of this. I think it was fun to...
Now, how did you meet Justin? It was just kind of...
Well, my physical therapist recommended him.
Carrie.
Because I was like upset because I couldn't find the right intensity. Like I knew I needed to do strength training, but it was really easy to find like egotistical,
dime
gym.
a dozen.
Yeah, like, and I'm like, that's not what I'm looking for.
No.
Yeah. So.
That's what I freaking love about Gain so much.
Well, I went in, they probably thought I was crazy. I was like, I'm not counting macros. I'm not this person who is like obsessed with every little thing. Like I just need to move every day. And I like this.
And Justin's probably like, that's what I like to hear.
Yeah, he was like, okay. He was like, I just
Yeah.
It was, and CrossFit was funny. It was really awesome to watch a lot of the people whose bodies could take it do really well and just like turn into beasts over 2 years. Like that was a really fun part of CrossFit. But then the unfortunate part was it just wasn't.
Yeah,
it just wasn't me. Like the higher intensity, the more broken I get. So.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense, and everyone's different. And I kind of went through my own thing, but we all kind of people who do something like that, and we're just kind of exercising to exercise and just have like a healthier lifestyle. There's no need for being able to snatch 200 pounds or something like that.
I was just like. I don't know.
It's fun, but what's the point?
I'd seen a lot of they were going through a lot of staff changes at the CrossFit that I was at a lot. And so I saw like everybody on the spectrum, right? Like every different coach, and I would be watching them and be like, I don't know if this guy's going to work out for me today. Like one guy was like, oh, you can do a ton more than that. And I was like, yeah, but should I? Yeah, it was like a total like catering to your ego over your health, and I was just like, what is this? No.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's just how a lot of, and that's not just CrossFit. Let me tell you that right now.
Yeah.
It is absolutely everywhere, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, people want to just live their life.
Yeah. Like, I want to just be able to walk around the next day, and I want to,
Yeah, exactly.
I want
not have to deal with freaking having sciatica.
Yeah.
Ever again, and looking at a hill and being like, I can't get to my car.
Right.
At 26 years old.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gunning for.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
the bar is right here, nice and in the middle.
Yeah, right in the middle. I'm good with it.
Yeah, I'm not looking to crank it up to 10.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
It's for some people.
No, I think
everyone.
It's it was so awesome to see the confidence that a lot of people gained from it, and like a lot of the people. It's a really fun community, and people encourage everybody. But, and when it's done great, it's awesome. But the intensity was just too much. So
yeah, no, it makes sense. Gains much more your speed.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
and I think it's a little bit better.
Yeah,
but I'm partial.
Little partial.
I'm partial.
Yeah.
But all right, I want to end on a curveball actually, just because this is more a question for me that I want to know answered. And I sort of asked it earlier, but what would be like advice for someone that's kind of starting a business? You said that you kind of just like bounced around, but I mean, you had such like a crash course in it of like, what's the kind of, like, how did you do it?
I would just say like, and this is how I am as a person, but just like go with what you feel and like.
Go with your gut?
Yeah, ignore what people tell you. Like, everyone's gonna tell you that what you're doing is stupid, or like, oh, you're never gonna make any money doing that, and just go with what you feel. If you feel like you won't make money doing it, you won't. If you feel like you're not gonna succeed at it, you won't. If you don't like it, you're not gonna succeed. So just do what you like. Do what you feel like works.
I love it. We're gonna end it there. That was perfect.
Cool.
Thank you, Cara. That was awesome.
Anytime. Awesome.
I hope that you all enjoyed my conversation with Cara Dello Russo. Please look her up. It's at Cara's Pet Care on Instagram and Cara's Pet Care on Facebook. She does not have a website. I have no idea why, but it seems to be working for her. So if you have any pet care needs in the Maine, New Hampshire, or northern Massachusetts area, please look her up. Please give her a call. She is very professional. She's incredibly friendly, and she will take amazing care of your pets. Like I said earlier, today is actually the last episode of Season 1, but please stay tuned for the first episode of Season 2 at the beginning of March. Thank you all for listening. I can't believe how well this has all gone, and it's all thanks to everybody that has tuned in. So thank you again. You guys are incredible, and you will hear from me at the beginning of March. Enjoy the month.